Hello everyone, welcome back to continue our Panda Dataframe lecture. Last time we have some technical difficulty, and today we're going to finish the notebook. Again, the Panda 1.ipy notebook, and we're going to load it up. And first we're going to, we finished last time's about half hours into the lecture, and we're going to finish the rest. This part we're going to load the data frame for now, load the CSV file. It gave me an arrow, and actually Panda was not defined. Come back down here, and actually if you prefer, you can click on this command mode, which is this part is blue in the command mode, and you restart your kernel, okay, and clear all the output, and then execute from this part, execute all the cell above this line. So it will take time to execute everything, and so we have arrow. So let's just comment this one out. So this, comment this one out, and then we're going to do that again. Highlight this particular cell and say run everything above. So if there's error, it will stop. Otherwise, we'll continue execute. So we've done everything. So now I'm going to execute this particular cell. Give me an arrow and tells me, okay, and the file is not exist. So we're probably in the wrong directory. So let's do that. We put everything into the data directory. So give me a pretty decent read it in right now. Now we're going to try and to do some of the exercise on this CSV file. Okay, and first we're going to check the column. Okay, this is called a data frame column, and we can see that this file actually have two columns. One column is month, the other column is international airline passenger monthly total in thousands from January 1949 to December 1960. So the second column's name is pretty long. It's not ideal. So what we do, actually, I will show you the data file actually itself. You probably see that. So the data file itself is just a CSV file. You can read it in from Microsoft Excel, and this is the column title, a header, and this is another column header, and the rest of them are the data, okay, for which month and what how many passengers coming through. So just get used to some of these information. So what we need to do is we redefine the column name. We'll call it okay, I'm going to call the column name equals to, and first is called month. It's all lowercase month, and then I'm going to call the other one is passengers. All right, and then let's do that again. And you'll see that now is much cleaner. Column name, okay, and I'm going to add a few lines right here. So now you see the column is organized properly, and also we can see that call passengers, and that will give me only the passenger column, and also and this is one way to access the column And the other way is using object definition called passenger as well. And that will give me the same thing. Okay. What I have is, again, we can also adding a column to this data set, a data frame called, I'm going to call this guy, the new column 1 equals to, okay, to the data frame equals to 1. So now we're going to do, so you see that I'm adding a new column called 1s. They all equals to 1. This is quickly to populate a column with a default value, then later on we generate, fill in with other value later on. So notice that the month right here is, let's do this right here, df.info. Okay, we can see the month information right here is the years and dash with the month. And actually this data type is object. For later on, we're going to do some time series analysis. We would like to have it converted into a datetime format. How do we do that actually? So here I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do that. First, I'm going to using a datetime library. Okay, from datetime library, import a function called datetime. Okay, this is a default Python library, so-called datetime specifically. What we can do with this datetime, okay, is we call a function called string to time and give 2 information. I give it a string called, if I got 1978 dash May, and convert it into in the format of the percentage sign represent, this is the format I'm going to compile with. So with the month, years, then dash month. Okay, so this is what we see. Let's take a look. It will convert it into 1978 May 1st, and with hours and minutes. So this is actually the format what we have. But how are we going to convert the entire entire column of passengers, international flight passenger month into datetime format? One thing we would like to try doing the same thing, doing datetime and doing string to time, and maybe we can do df, and we try this, call month, okay, and then we do the same thing, format equals to a month. Give me an arrow because the datetime function by default in this library won't accept a Pandas series to do so, to convert the entire Panda column into a datetime format. So it only accepts 1 string at a time. So now I'm going to convert it into using a so-called apply lambda function, and you're going to need this many times in your okay, so I'm going to create another column called datetime, dt. Okay, datetime equals to this function I'm going to apply. Okay, And this specific things we call the lambda. Lambda is a representative of a function within this data frame called lambda function. And I'm going to call it row, all the rows. And we're going to use for each one of the rows, I'm going to do using the datetime function. And using each rows, we call the rows of month. Then same thing. Okay. I'm going to apply this according to the column. So month is a column. Okay. So let's take a look. Oops, sorry. Again. So now you see I have 4 columns now, month, passenger, ones, and then the datetime actually converted. So we can do the following, and info, take a look what's going on. Okay. So now you can see the months is still a string column. Okay. The passenger is an integer number. Ones is also integer number. But DT, column DT is a datetime, represent a datetime 64-bit format. So we successfully make a conversion using the so-called lambda function. Lambda function is a dummy function within the data frame. But Panda itself actually, I want to talk about Panda itself also now have a datetime function as well. I can directly doing PD. Okay. Converted it into called to datetime function. Okay. And I'm going to just call df month. And slightly different syntax called, they have a so-called format option similar to what I have. Okay. All right. So it convert the date month into all the datetime format. You can see that now is this output is a datetime 64-bit. All I have to do is adding PD dot, we call it datetime2 equals to this output. Oops, sorry. Should be in a quote. Sorry, slightly should be df. Okay, so now I'm going to take a look of df dot head. Okay, so I do the conversion, the same thing, show you using the lambda internal function and converting each row of that column, month, into a datetime format using the lambda internal function, or I can using the Panda to datetime function and do the same. We're going to do a couple more exercise later on in homework and exams. But now this is what I'm just mentioned. You're going to use this quite a bit for the rest of the semester, because this semester we're pretty much dealing with time series data. Next things, I'm going to save my typing, just reading the table. Again, they don't exist in the same folder, so I'm going to do okay, reading in. So I'm going to show the what is the T1? Okay, T1 just a user ID 1234 and actually email and age of the person. So let's take a look. T2, what does that look like? The same thing is I have each one of user ID with the ads ID. What kind of ads did each one of the ads, and if this person click on that particular ads or not. This is a many application with doing the web click, ads click. So now I'm trying to merge both table 1 and table 2 together. So I'm going to using a Panda merge function, okay, and merge a T1 and T2, but what? Based on, we call it on, what? User ID. Okay, so so I merge this into a single table with the user ID, the email, the age of the user, which ad it is, and is this person click on that ad or not. I'm going to save this to a data frame so we can see this, save it, okay. Or we can do T1 dot merge instead of directly use Panda function merge T2. Okay, this is same result. I'm just showing you different options. Okay. They'll produce the same result. Okay. Now I'm going to try to do a couple more. Here what we have is just finishing this up. We're going to define a Panda data frame to begin with. Okay, Panda called data frame. Actually equals to 1 and 2, then 3 and 4. Sorry. Okay, 3 and 4 actually into one single frame. Okay, take a look. What is that? So it gives me a data frame indexed by 0 and 1, column name 0, column name 1. So index on the left hand side, okay, column name is on the top. So well, I want to convert this into a NumPy array. So usually what we can do is in the past, so matrix and convert it as a matrix. Okay, so I execute this as only to show you the asset matrix is depleted. Okay, outdated function. It exists in Panda if you're using version 0.23 and before, and this function will work. But right now, the Panda is already on version 1.21 and 1.23 beta. So the new standard will be just using values without parentheses. Okay. So df values. Okay, it will convert this Panda data frame into a NumPy array. Okay, so we're going to conclude this section of the lectures and continue with the machine learning basic. The next step we're going to go in is doing some basic forecasting, dealing with the time series data. Hope you see you there.